So yesterday I introduced you guys to the new supervillain, Rev Tracey G. Going through some of her videos. And I found another one that I think would be interesting to you guys. Let's see. All right, here we go. Get this ready. New supervillain.
Dr. Seuss says adults are just obsolete children, and I believe him. I had a whole bunch to say just a minute ago, and it left my head. This is the problem with not recording me all the time and not being in the proper place.
Oh, I know what I could do.
I'm worrying about product placement, or if my artwork is my original work or somebody else's. Worry about brand, things like that. I had a whole lot of thoughts in my head about it. But parents are just obsolete. No, not parents. Adults are just obsolete children. My take on that is we're erasing the fact that we're animals. We might be alien beings in these bodies, but our bodies are instinctually animals. And when we deny what we are, and we deny creation, and we decide we're going to be civil and not be animalistic, is when we deny those impulses. And this goes far deep, like into why we want to be so disconnected from food. We're so disconnected from our lives and our food that people like Jeffrey Dahmer consume their victims because they feel this need to be connected to something on this earth. Sick and twisted as it is, I have a fascination with serial killers and psychology. The psychology is stupid too, because the way psychiatry and psychology is practiced in the United States and the European civilized countries, it's about control rather than accepting your difference. It's about blending. Thank you, Miss Peppermint. And Laverne Cox. Dr. Seuss also says why fit in when you can stand out, when you're meant to stand out. People always hated me and put me down and try to shut me up, and I just have a light that they've put out. And unlike what I've been raised my whole life to believe, I'm not responsible for their light. It is true, the sun is the brightest star right now and in our solar system. Because every star has its own. Duh. But the sun shines fucking bright. And the only time it casts a shadow is when somebody gets in its way. It's not throwing shade, it's casting shadow. Not anything to be afraid of, you just crush that obstacle. I'm not responsible for your soul. I'm only responsible for mine. And I'm responsible to pray for those that I'm told to pray for. Like when I was told to pray for Ted Bundy on the night of his execution, and my church wouldn't even wake up the prayer line to do it because they would say it was a waste of their efforts. Nobody was going to pray for that monster. How is that Christ-like, people of Kelso First Assembly of God on Academy Street in Kelso, Washington? How is that Christ-like? No, I'm not afraid to mention names anymore. I've decided I'm not afraid of anything on this earth anymore. Man, planet, animal. The only thing that I'm afraid of is the loss of the handful of people that I choose to surround myself with. The rest of it, fuck it. If it wasn't for that handful of things that tie me to this earth, Omnicide is my favorite. The sun shines fucking bright. And it doesn't cast shadows. Only those that get in its way cast shadows. Parents, school, government, churches. The sun doesn't give a fuck who it burns.
What the fuck, dude?
I don't wish for you to find peace, love, and joy. I don't give a fuck. It's in you. And if you're too ignorant to find it, I don't want to talk to you. But if you want to hold hands through the journey of finding your own joy, join me. Take a stand for love and peace and nonpartisanism. Anything that makes people quarrel against each other. Acceptance, love, peace. Be at one with nature. Go out and kill something you're going to eat. Raise a chicken and then kill it to eat it. And then tell me that you're connected. I killed a grouse. I skinned it. And I gutted it. And I hung it upside down. And I held it in my hand as I felt the rest of the blood rushing out of it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I've done that with several other animals. But that's the one that connected me. Blessed be. I've found peace. You can too. There's many teachers out there. Don't worship them. Learn from them. Peace, love, and joy. It's in you.
Dude. This is a serial killer in the making, a supervillain, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That is insanity. And it's weird because there's some videos that she makes where she's kind of normal, but then there's some videos that she makes where she's a fucking crazy person. I can't figure her out.
I am so grateful that I have kept video record and written documentation of almost everything to do with the behavior of the neighbors. I'm sorry that I've had to go through so much with the landlords and the other neighbors.
Pills, right? It seems like pills.
Diligent records again. But I'm so glad I have, because with them doing this restraining order thing and me applying for special accommodations, it shows how long I have been dealing with this stuff from Park Lane, and that
you want to subscribe to her.
The courthouse because of
I'll give you the link.
My own anxieties and fears that I've just been keeping record of everything. So I'm gonna have to thank them. Excuse me. From when I was extremely obese, it was a ball, like a fat cyst, using this side, and then the Kundalini yoga, because I had to learn to coordinate both sides together again.
You see what I mean? Like, some of it's, I'm not saying she's normal, but it's not psychotic. Some of her videos are psychotic, and some of them are...
The thing about me, though, is I've always had them. I never had to pray for them. I've always been told I feel too much, I laugh too hard, I sing too loud. Imagine if I haven't tried to curb myself, exactly how out of control I would be and histrionic and need to be in an asylum. Part of me is grateful it was whipped out of me, but part of me is horrible at it because I always had to raise my kids, do as I say, not as I do, because I was trained and ingrained and it was beaten into me, and it's hard for me to unlearn it. Not an excuse to keep doing it, but still a reason. So I rambled off on this rant because I'm having PTSD going in and out of reliving all of the stuff with the neighbors and the violence with their dog coming into my apartment and snapping at my daughter's dog. And the confrontations from this woman who shoulder bumps me in the hallway, and when I called the police and say she threatened to kick my ass, they tell me no crime has been committed and to take it up with my landlords. Well, I have a mental illness, so taking it up with people is hard. And the mental illness is exacerbated by being poisoned. See, I used to be a very strong, independent woman. Ask people that knew me before 2015. Ask almost anybody that actually knew me. I was strong and independent. Whether they liked me or not, I was still strong and independent and very self-assured. I knew who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know how to be a good parent. I was always looking to better myself. But I was very sure of who I was. My self-esteem has always been high because I know I'm worthwhile. The rest of the world just doesn't see me, and that's frustrating. My daughter, my dear old Emily, is teaching me to voice who I am without fear. Well, that kind of scares me because voicing who I am without fear, there's risks and fallout. Tact is never something I've learned, but I have learned how to shut up, smile, and look pretty. I don't like that side of me. So I don't know why I needed to rant, but I had to vent somewhere, and I guess this was a good place, and I couldn't sit down in the studio because when I sat in the studio, all I kept doing was thinking about this restraining order bullshit. Because I gotta get everything in chronological order, and you know, before 2015, ask my professors, I was a research hound. I would research stuff to the point that my OCD would get me that I would throw away an entire quarter's worth of work and redo it in a week because I wasn't satisfied with any of it. And I'd even changed the entire thesis. And I'd still managed to get a 4.0 or better. Now I can barely remember things, and I get my dates flip-flopped, and when I want to say Clark County because I lived in Cowlitz County for so long, I keep saying Cowlitz County. You want to know something? Never once in my history of living in San Luis Obispo County as a teenager did I ever once call that Cowlitz County. Never got them flipped and confused. Okay? Lived in Santa Barbara County when my kids were small and we were homeless. Never got it confused.
Man, it's creepy. All this joking and stuff aside, I'm afraid people like this are gonna snap, dude. I mean that. Like that is like, fuck, man. I think that's it. I've been ending these like really creepy. These shows really creepy lately, huh? With this, but I am super intrigued by all this stuff.